record button. All right. Um, so this is a book that I read, Atomic Habits. I think I try to read it at least twice every year. So I thought let me just share some of the lessons from this book. I'm sure some of you may already have read the book, so you might already know what it is about. But I just want to share, a few lessons that I've learned from the book that have been helping me in, being consistent in my business and also just, starting to see results after a long time of trying and trying and not getting results or not getting where I wanted to be. So the book is called Atomic Habits. It is available for purchase. You can purchase it online and in most bookstores as well. And some of the key points about this is, small changes that you make to your habits matter and, they actually give desired results over time. So the first thing is, tiny improvements can add up to big results over time. So this I had to learn, and I know I always give example of gym and all of that. I think it's probably because I'm also, that's one of the things that I'm working on, which is my weight. But what I've seen is, the habits that we develop, they actually contribute to what we are getting in terms of results. If you are looking to lose weight, then you have to develop a healthy lifestyle. You have to develop healthy habits. Learn to say no to sugar, learn to stop eating when you are full, all of those things. So those are habits that contribute to the life or the weight that you want. Similar with the business. When you are running a business, there are certain habits that you also need to develop in order to be, that business person. And it's small things that you start and you work on them consistently. And then over time, you start to see results. Earlier on today, I was having a conversation with one of my downlines, and she was like, yo, I've been doing this thing, but let me check what the message was. The message was like, the results are taking time though. And it's a discussion that we ended up having. That's what brought me to this book. She was saying that I've been doing everything that you've told me to improve. I've been working on it. I've been working on doing presentations, self-development, and all of that, but I'm not seeing the results. And that is the same every time you have to do like a mindset shift or you have to, show up in a different way. Sometimes it feels like you are putting in a lot of effort, but you are not seeing the results that are coming through. If that feels like you, just type a one in the chat and know that, we all relate to that, especially when you're trying to build up your business. You will experience a period where you feel like I've been putting in a lot of work. I've been doing everything that they say I must do, but I'm not seeing the results that I want. And one thing I just want to let you know is, for it to be a habit, it's something that you do consistently. And most of the time it becomes something that you do without even thinking about it. So it's not a matter of, okay, I'm going to do this for the next 5 days and I'm expecting to see results. It becomes a lifestyle change and it becomes something that you do even when you are not, seeing the results. And one thing that I always say, just getting even 1%, better each day will eventually lead you to huge changes. So in the book, they mention 4 steps that you can employ to build good habits. The first one being make it obvious. So make your good habits easy to see, set reminders or place things where you will notice them. For myself, like I said, I'll give an example with the weight loss. Um, One thing that you have to develop as a habit when you're trying to lose weight, number one, is you have to drink a lot of water. And I was never someone who used to drink water. So I had to set timers and reminders. Every hour it goes off to remind me that, my friend, you need to drink a glass of water now. You need to drink another glass of water. Um, I would set reminders of when I need to take my meals and the type of meals that I need to take. And then I had like somewhere where I would record everything that I've taken for that day so that, I can go back, I can see what is it that I've done, how do I need to improve and all of that. Same applies with business because most of us, we were not trained on building a business. You come into this forever thing, and we come with a mindset normally that is not a business mindset. We bring our traditional business and our traditional education knowledge to this business, and sometimes that doesn't work. And now you have to employ new habits. You have to learn new habits. You have to learn to say, wherever I am, I must talk to people, I must smile, I must look presentable, I must do presentations, I must do this. And sometimes it's not easy to remember all of that. So when I started to say, you know what, I think I want to develop habits that are going to make me successful in my business, I also had to set reminders for myself. So I sat down, I looked at my day to say, okay, this is my day. I wake up this time. This is what I do. Now I need to start talking to people. I need to start doing Zoom presentations. I need to start, doing WhatsApp presentations as well. So on my phone, I've had to set alarms. I've told myself 4 p.m. is the time that I wake up and respond to messages and do a few posts on social media. I need an alarm to remind me of that. I've told myself at 12, I need to go on my WhatsApp, check messages, reply to people. I need an alarm for 12. I've set another alarm to say, you know what, every day I need to have people that I'm doing WhatsApp presentation for at 7. So I have the meeting thing calendar will remind me of that. But then around 5, I need to send, communication to these people reminding. So I have alarms or I set it up on my calendar so that it just pops up as a notification. And you'll find if you do that for a month, your body becomes trained, you get used to doing all those activities. Now I don't even need an alarm to wake up for 5. I wake up 5 minutes before the alarm goes off. Or if it's 4, I wake up at 4. Most of the time I wake up at 3. I do what I need to do. I go back to sleep, then I wake up just before 5. But now my body is used to all of that. And it's something that is automatic. If I'm doing something when it's almost 12, it clicks in my mind that I need to check my messages, I need to check. So when you are starting to develop habits, it's not going to be automatic. You need to find a way to set reminders for yourself to actually, do these activities. And once your body becomes used to that, it becomes a habit, it becomes something that you actually do without thinking about. That's the first step. Make it obvious, make it easy, set reminders for yourself. The second one is make it attractive. Connect your habits to something that you enjoy because this makes it easier to stick to them. Um, it's not easy to get out of your comfort zone. It's not easy to to develop new habits because your body will always, or your mind, I don't know, will always want to take you back to that place where you are comfortable. So we go back to gym. You know, it's not easy to say, I'm going to wake up at 6, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to do all of this. It feels like work. Yo, now I have to go to gym. Now I have. But if you connect that with something that you're passionate about, something that makes you, happy, it becomes easier for you to follow through because now it no longer feels like work. It feels like something that you enjoy. So find a way to make these habits more attractive to you. Make it easy. Break your habits down into small steps. The easier they are, the more likely you are to do them. And this is something that, a lot of 5 a.m. speakers have spoken about in the meetings to say, when you look at this big mountain that you need to conquer, it feels like a lot. It feels like something that you cannot do. But if you break down these habits into smaller goals, it becomes easy. Now it's less daunting and it's something that you can actually try. So break down your habits, break down your activities into smaller steps because then they are easier for you to do. Make it satisfying. Reward yourself for doing good habits. This helps you to reinforce them. So I always say celebrate the small achievements. If you've told yourself I'm going to do this and you manage to do it, just reward yourself. And rewarding yourself doesn't mean because I've gone to gym consistently for the past 1 week, now I'm going to start eating chocolate as a reward. Rewarding yourself can just be, speaking positive. To say, you know what, I'm so proud of you. You said you were going to do this and you did it. Let's keep going. That can be a reward. Just positive self-talk, recognizing yourself for the small things that you are doing. It keeps you positive and it keeps you, wanting to continue to reinforce the habits. The fourth thing is change your environment. This is very important because you need to arrange your environment in such a way that it supports the habits that you want to build. So you want to lose weight, like Heather. What would you do to change your environment in order to support those habits? The first thing I had to do, I had to go delete my Uber Eats, Mr. D apps, you know. If you are that person where the fridge is filled with fast food and all of that, you have to clean that out. Um, put a workspace for myself, for gym in the house, all of that. So you are creating an environment that supports healthy habits. I avoid restaurants where I can order junk food. Even at home, I make sure that my mom makes sure that, okay, we are cooking healthier meals so that I'm in an environment that supports the journey that I'm on. Because if you say you want to lose weight, you want to go to gym, and you still have those apps on your phone, you still have, you're staying at home and you're ordering fast food, and it becomes a lot of temptation and it becomes difficult for you to maintain the habits that you're trying to build. So make sure that, you create a conducive environment that allows you to maintain this for a long time for it to develop into a habit. So if it's working, you've told yourself, I'm doing this business full time, but I haven't been allocating enough time for me to meet my goals, for me to do all the activities. And now I want to run my business like a business because there are people who do forever full time, but in them doing forever full time, they are at home, they are sleeping, they wake up at 12 and By the time they wake up, maybe they are bathing, they are cooking. Before you know it, the day is over. You haven't done anything. Or you tell yourself, I'm going to work from my room. You're sitting on the bed. Before you know it, now you're watching movies or you're on social media, and then you end up not being productive. So you can start by just creating a small workspace for yourself in your house where it's a clean area, you have easy access to it. You can sit down on a chair. If it's time to make calls, then you start making calls. Because if you are trying to run your business, most people think that working from home or building your business full time means you get to sleep in your bed, make calls, and whatever. But that does not make you as productive. So if you want to become productive, you want to grow your business, just create a small space where you can sit down on a chair, you have a small table, you know, you are working on calls, replying messages, or it makes you a lot more productive. So make sure that you have an environment or you arrange your space to support your habits. Environment, I would also want to include people that you surround yourself with. Um, it is also mentioned in the book, people that you surround yourself with, your circle, it does matter. If you are going to be surrounding yourself with negative people, people who are not running their business, this is something that I always say in the 5 a.m. session. If you surround yourself with people like that, you will not be productive, and it will be so difficult for you to build these habits because you're going to call this friend of yours who's also not doing well in their business and they are always complaining. And they will tell you, no, calling people is hard, it's not necessary, na 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 na, and you fall into that negativity trap. And before you know it, you've even stopped the calling that you had started to do. You've stopped the activities that you had started to do because maybe they've convinced you that, hey, it's expensive to run presentations. Who has time to join a Zoom at 8, whatever? So be careful of not just the environment in terms of your workspace, but also the people that you're associating with, because they can either support you or they can break you. If you don't have positive people in your life, people that want to see you succeed, and you surround yourself with negativity, you will never develop good habits that allow you to run your business properly. So be mindful of that. The other thing is patience is key. It takes me back to the conversation that I was having with my downline just before the 5 a.m. session to say progress can feel slow, and you just have to keep going even when you're not seeing the results. Your breakthrough will come with time, with consistency. You consistently doing something, then you start to see the results. You can be calling people, inboxing people, doing presentations for 2, 3 months before you even start to see someone who says, you know what, I want to start, or someone who say, I will start next month, I will start end of the year, or I will start in January, but don't allow you not seeing results to stop you from doing what you need to do for your business. Because the more you do it, you are also learning, you are also improving, you are becoming better in your pitch, and you also now know who to approach, how to approach them, what works, what doesn't work. Eventually, you start to see results. But if you do stop, start, you will never see the results, because every time you are about to develop this habit, you decide, you know what, I don't see the results, I'm going to stop. Then you stop for the next 3 months until you realize maybe I should have continued calling people. Now you are starting, and every time you are starting, you are starting from scratch. So have patience to keep on doing the activities that you need to do, even when you are not seeing the results. Be consistent. Um, Review your habits. So take time to think about your habits regularly. This helps you to stay on track and make changes that you need. I won't explain that one. Another one says, understand the habit loop. Every habit has four parts. It has a trigger, it has a desire, it has an action, and it has a reward. So knowing this helps you to change your habit. So I will go back to my example for weight loss. Um, you have to understand. So maybe let's say you've gained weight because of the way that you are eating, lack of exercise, all of that. You have to understand what is it that triggers me to go and order KFC or to eat unhealthy? What is it that triggers me? Once you understand that, now you have to be wary of those triggers. For me, it's I know when I'm stressed, I eat. When I'm depressed, I eat. So now when I'm going through a period where it's going to be stressful, like now we were, closing up tax season, is stressful because there's a lot of pressure, there are a lot of tasks, people that you have to meet deadlines and all of that. And the normal me, the old me, I hope, would have been eating junk food almost every single day, sometimes more than once a day, because I used to use food to cope with stress. Or if I'm sad, if I'm feeling depressed, then I just sit and eat. So now that I understand that, I can prepare myself when I know that, you know what, these next 2 months are going to be very stressful. And remember, when you are stressed, this is what you do. Now I have to make a conscious effort to, not eat junk food when I would have otherwise done so. So understand, what is it that triggers you to decide that, you know what, today I'm just not gonna touch my business. I'm not gonna call people, or I'm going to cancel the presentation. What is it? For some people, you cancel the calls because you feel like, I don't know, if I call them, what is it that I'm going to say? How am I going to explain the business? What if they ask me one, two, three, then what am I going to say? That can be a trigger. And that can actually make you to say, you know what, I'll call tomorrow, or I'll call them later, and you end up actually not making the call. So understanding the things that trigger you, it helps you, because then you are able to work on those triggers to develop good habits, you know. Um, so know your triggers. Know that this is a loop. It starts with the trigger. The trigger, gives you that craving. So the stress makes me crave wings, chocolate, sugar, ice cream. And the action would be for me to buy all these things and be eating while I'm doing my work and all of that. And it makes me happy because I feel good after eating ice cream. I have a sugar high. But now that I understand all of that, I work on my triggers. I work on the stress. I work on, what do I do when I'm craving this, and what action do I take? So now I've come to a place where I always have like fruits, things like your pears, apples, celery sticks, and all of that in my office, so that when I'm stressed, I'm eating, but I'm eating healthy food, unlike, going to buy a piece of oil, what do you call it, fried chicken and all of that. So understand your triggers and safeguard yourself in terms of how you normally respond. Focus on identity. So that means you think about the type of person that you want to be. Okay, so instead of saying I want to lose weight, I say I am someone who is healthy. So I'm focusing on the identity rather than I want to lose 30 kilograms, or I want to lose 30 kgs. No, I'm telling myself I am someone who is healthy, which means I'm telling myself to eat healthy, to exercise, and to develop these healthy habits. And in return, I am going to achieve that result in terms of my weight. So instead of, I want to be, what can I give as an example in the business? My English bundles are depleted already so early in the morning. So instead of, I want to be manager, or I want to be making 100,000 from forever, it's, I am someone who is building my business, developing people, and sharing health and wellness. So I focus on building my team. I focus on sharing about health and wellness. I focus on improving people's lives. And in return, I achieve the manager goal. In return, I achieve the income goal. So focus on the identity, focus on the person. Think about the person that you want to become. Think about the person that you want to be known for. So you want to be known as, someone who provides people solutions to their health problems. Focus on that. Don't focus on the profit that the aloe vera gel is going to make you. Because when you focus on the person that you want to become, working towards becoming that person becomes so much easier compared to when you focus on the rand value. Or, okay, we are not all South African here, but it's different when you focus on who you want to become than when you focus on the money and your benefit. So focus on identity. Think about the type of person that you want to be, work towards becoming that person, and you will see that the other results, they will sort themselves out. Is there something that I've left out? Habit staking, I think, is the last one, which says attach a new habit to something you already do. For instance, after brushing your teeth, do 5 minutes of stretching. So you are someone who wants to lose weight, then you attach small habits to something that you already do. You wake up, you're going to bath, you brush your teeth, and maybe just give yourself like 5 minutes of stretching. Or when you wake up, there's a lady who was telling me to say, let's say you wake up, you are in bed, you can just do like even 5 sit-ups from that position. Waking up is something that you do every single day. You can just wake up and do five sit-ups from your bed every single day. Before you know it, those five turn into 10, and 10 become 15, and you are building habits and attaching them to something that you do on a daily basis. You wake up, you are making lunch boxes. For some of us who have to wait for the water, maybe you switch on the geyser while you are waiting for the water and you are cleaning your room. There are those weights. I bought some weights that you can just attach to your wrists or to your ankles, and I can be wearing them while I'm doing the small tasks. It can be part of exercise. So find ways to attach new habits to something that you already do on a daily basis, because you're still going to spread your bed, you're still going to make lunch boxes and all of this. You can just attach weights to your wrists and your ankles, and while you are doing those daily tasks, you are also putting in some kind of a workout. So that's another way to develop healthy habits. So this is a very good book. I recommend, if you haven't read it, do go and try and purchase it and just, go through it. Of course, I can't share everything that is in the book, but just focus on the things that I've highlighted here the goal is to develop healthy habits. What habit or system will help you achieve the goals that you want? And once you know what is it that you need to do to become the person that you want, then you ask yourself, how can I make this enjoyable for me to use? Make it fun. Find ways of making it fun for yourself so that it becomes easy. What identity can you take on to do this? What small win can you do to reinforce this identity and make the new habit more visible, more desirable, easier to do, and more satisfying? Use a time-based intention statement. When this happens, I will do this. So when the stress comes, I will, maybe go for a run, exercise, jog instead of eating. Find other people as well that are already doing this easily and naturally, and allow them to be your support system. That's You want to become a supervisor. Which people do you know in your team that are also working towards that goal? You know, put yourselves together and become each other's support system. Because sometimes developing habits on your own, it's not as easy, but if you do it together, it becomes easy. So you want to become manager, you want to become supervisor, you want to learn how to do presentations. Who do you know in your team that is also working towards the same goal? Who do you know in your team that is doing regular Zoom meetings and all of that? Attach yourself to that person, work together. It's so much easier to develop habits when you have, I think we call them accountability partners, or when you have someone that you're accountable to, someone who's also working towards the same goal, because then you are doing these activities together, it becomes, easier. So you want to lose weight. Most people would go to the gym because there you meet other people that also have the same goal. But even in your family, when I started my weight loss journey, I'm like to my mom, let's do this together. I would go out and jog by myself, but you'll find tomorrow I can tell myself, I'm too tired. I'm not gonna do it today. But when it's now the two of us, if we say this week we are going to jog, in the day that I'm feeling like I want to sleep, she's like, hey, my friend, wake up, let's do this, and then we wake up and we go together. Before you know it, it becomes a habit and you are all doing it together. So find other people that are already doing this or that are trying to do it and work together to achieve that goal. Okay. I don't know, anyone wants to make a comment? Additions, subtractions. I see there are some comments in the chat. Leader Kokua says consistency. Leader Sarafia says always consistency. Leader Tita says focus on the identity. And she says, so true. I realized I serve my clients more when I focus on helping them in their health rather than the profits. I love that. I love the word serve. I serve my clients more because when you are serving, it's not about you, but it's about, the other person. All right. Anyone else who wants to